Welcome to Outside the Tavern. I think we are on episode 9. And yeah, good to hang out with you again. Like I said before, these are quickly becoming my most favorite segments because we get to just hang out and relax. And speaking of that, I have a lovely cup of Ceylon breakfast tea for you. You'll have to sweeten it to your taste, of course. There is some sugar and some milk there if you take that. So, what's been troubling you? What's on your mind? I'm here. I'm your bartender. I will listen to you. I've been told that I'm a good listener, and I've been told otherwise. Depending upon who you ask, I suppose I'm a good listener. When we were growing up in my generation, we had to become very self reliant. We had to figure problems out on our own because no one was going to be there guiding us through them, which is why I make these videos now to hopefully share some of the wisdom that I've picked up over the course of my life and help guide someone through a problem they might be going through. And if I can ever do that for anybody, I am completely over the moon happy about it. It's one of the goals I have in my life to help others as often as I can. I don't mind. I don't mind at all, actually. It is what being a caretaker is all about. When you learn to put the needs of others in front of your own. And I've been doing that for a very long time. That's not to say that your needs are not important, because they are, and you should focus on those needs. And well, if they drive you, if those needs drive you someplace, you should go towards that place. Figure out what your instincts are telling you. The irony of my life is that I was told that I would never make any money as a writer, but here I am writing scripts. I'm doing stuff that I love. I'm doing stuff that I need to do. I feel pulled to do, so I do it. I follow my instincts and I perceive the world a little bit differently than a lot of people do. It has been both a blessing and a curse to have such perceptions. And it is indeed a blessing and a curse to have wisdom at times. I am never going to be the type of person that flies off the handle, that slips into a rage and starts yelling for no apparent reason. I am far too centered for that as a person. But if I'm being honest, and I always am, to myself and to others, what I really envy about some people is the ability to actually express anger. Man, that's weird saying it, isn't it? Like, just go off and yelling at something. I have never been able to do it. I can't bring myself to do it in any way, shape, or form. And I even tried a couple of times and it totally didn't work at all. So that's just not what I'm made up of. And that is something that's always been a constant in my life. Being a caretaker, being stable, being a rock for people. It's what makes my character. It's what makes me who I am. And I wouldn't trade it for the world. I wouldn't live a different life if I had the ability to. There are people that think, oh, I would do this or that if I won the lottery. And to me, I think that I have already won the lottery. I am the best person that I can be. I live with a loving heart. I focus on positivity and radiating light into the world. I apologize. I'm going to have breaks in this video, and if I appear to be congested, I am still going through a bit of a cold. So I will not be editing this video, but I will be pausing it quite a bit so I can try to yeah, deal with problems. So where were we? Okay, yeah. What I was talking about earlier is being true to who you are as a person. If you can do that, if you can be true to who you are, I think that's the best of all things. Um, Try to find the light inside you. Try to radiate that light into the world if you can. Because I truly believe that no matter what level we are all on, we have light inside of us. And I think that we can radiate that light into the world. I've always believed that. I've always believed that there is goodness in people. I don't look at somebody and see their darkness and say, well, this one's lost or that one's lost. I don't get yelled at and then think, well, you know what? This person's just being a jerk. No, I get yelled at and immediately I think, what's going on in their life that's prompting them to respond in anger? When obviously the best response you could have is in, being positive. Now, that being said, positivity does not always, well, it doesn't always walk beside us, is what I mean to get at. We're not always seeing the light. Sometimes we let our problems overwhelm us, and all we can see is darkness. And that's okay because it has to be. We can only walk in our own shoes. We can only live our own lives. We cannot comment on others. And I really strongly advise anyone out there to not judge people because you don't walk in their shoes. So don't throw judgments down without actually perceiving what their life could actually be like, what they're going through, what their concerns are, what their hopes are, what their fears are. If you can take everything into consideration, then yeah, maybe you can, throw down something inside of yourself and say, oh, this is, a small judgment of this situation. But I don't think any of us can have a clear judgment of people ever, really, because you can't get inside someone's head. You can see their actions, you can see their words, but you can't see their thoughts. You can't feel their emotions. You can't see through their eyes and their perception of life. So, before you judge, what I would do first is try to figure out what's motivating that person to do that thing. What's motivating the anger, or what's motivating, in the reverse note, the joy. My friend, you are truly blessed if you are surrounded by joyful people. Even one person in your life who is joyful is a blessing. And I think that sometimes we overlook those blessings. We kind of soften them because we're like, oh, yeah, that's good and all. But all of this stuff is overwhelming me. All of this stuff is driving me to a point where I feel like my back is against a wall. It's my belief that we cannot truly ever know what's going on within a person. We can only have our perceptions of them and their situation, but we can't know what they're thinking, any more than they can know what we are thinking. So that's why I say bypassing all of that, radiating light in the world instead of darkness. At the very least, you'll lift yourself up and hopefully lift others. It is the concept of the pay it forward to spread that kind of joy. And I hope that you can do that, that you find yourself doing that on a steady basis because this world is very dark. It needs all the light it can get. My friends, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for your time. And I'm sorry there's so many pauses in it. I'll try to get better, but I physically have to get better first. Until next we meet, I hope you share this cup of tea with me, and I hope that your day is an awesome one. Be well, friend. Take care.